TikTok, I don't like TikTok. I'll say I really want it to go away. Let me turn my phone off 1 second. Oh, it's my birthday. I think people try to call and tell me happy birthday, but
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We believe that every business needs to be digital first, especially brick and mortar businesses. We also believe that every business is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. Our job on this show, we launched in 2017, was to connect with like-minded people. My grandfather, he taught me early on to stay curious, to get involved, to ask for help. Building a business is hard work. Storytelling is hard work. Using technology shouldn't be hard work, but we're here to produce this show, to bring on the best guests that are inspiring us to tell better stories. And I'm really excited and honored that Scottie joined us. I got to use your alias. So Scott, Jeremy Jones is his real name. So I'm sharing secrets right off the bat, the top of the show. But Scottie, thank you for joining. I've been a huge fan of Suburban LA. It's one of the main Instagram accounts. First off, I want to say thank you for the coverage that you've been doing on the LA fires. And Definitely. We have so many friends. We have so many restaurant owners, business owners, people that we love that are in, obviously, Southern California, but LA specifically. So, Scottie, welcome to the show. Happy birthday.
I appreciate it.
Give us a little bit of context from the LA fire perspective. You guys have been giving some awesome coverage on your Instagram account, and I know that's a lot of work to get the correct information out to the community.
Yeah, no, for sure. Our team is working super duper hard. Moments like these where it's just this. I mean, first of all, sending prayers out to all of the families who were affected. There's a lot of people being affected by this. I think over 80,000 people have been evacuated. The city of Palisades and Pasadena is completely obliterated. I think the media the media does a good job of overblowing things. Yep. It's not this is actually really crazy. I actually had the chance to go down there. We partnered up with Noah's Foundation, which is a local foundation that kind of help out with the homeless families and stuff. And so we're out there on the ground helping, and it's actually really tragic and sad to see. But as far as the coverage, I mean, moments like these, we're working 24/7 to not only post the information, but making sure that a lot of it's accurate. You know what I mean? I saw something where the Hollywood sign was on fire. I saw a lot of people posting that. And, we have to go through the weeds and make sure that we're not only keeping people up to date, but also maintaining a level of empathy with what's going on. Because, we want to show people what's happening. But for a lot of people, that stuff it can be devastating. That's what I'll say. But yeah, man, I do think that the city will recover. It's going to take some time. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. But we will recover. We're a strong city. So
for sure. Yeah. We send our prayers. We have so many people, like I said, that we love in Los Angeles. And if there's anything that we can do, we believe a rising tide lifts all ships. And we know that there's challenges, not just in business, but challenges in life. And I actually just put a post today on LinkedIn about falling down. One of my favorite quotes comes from Batman, which is, "Why do we fall? So we can learn how to get back up." And I teach my children that. I have a 7-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl, and it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. I remember actually listening to a podcast once about a restaurant owner that he lost his restaurant to a fire. So the fire, kitchen fire burned down the restaurant, and all these reporters went over and they started asking him, aren't you devastated that you lost your restaurant? And he goes, I have my health, I have my family, and I have all the experience. I have all the experience of the 10 years of building this restaurant, and I will build again. And I hope for the people in Los Angeles that, and I know the people in Los Angeles will build again, and they'll be even stronger and even more resilient. But let's talk about building a media company. When did you launch? When did it become real?
It probably became real around. It became something that I could stand on maybe a little before COVID. But this is an idea. I'm 29 now. This is an idea I came up with in 2012 when I was in high school, believe it or not. And I one of my gifts from God is just being extremely, maybe sometimes in a way that's foolish, but just crazy relentless. You know what I mean? I never gave up. I think as a younger man, though, I didn't have the tools to necessarily build something and sustain it, and the leadership qualities. But as I got older, consistently like just searching for the knowledge, I kept at this thing, and it ended up turning into something that, you know, I could have never imagined what it's become now. You know what I mean? Or how widespread our reach is. But been building since 2012. Started off with like a blog spot. I remember just ripping articles off from Complex and BuzzFeed and all these companies. Just a young man just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then as Instagram kind of became a main thing, we made that one of our dominant focuses. And just through time, man, switching up strategies, constantly figuring out how to hack culture, meaning like what ways can we consistently grow this thing that we're doing. Whether it was at one point, every follower, this maybe we had like 5,000, every follower we got, we'd reach out to them and talk to them, have a one-on-one conversation.
Wow.
To really, and those are the early days, to really build a
community.
Real community. And so I think things like that and tactics like that really made it so that our community became ultimately real.
Yeah. Why should you join us in Chicago on May 17th through the 20th for the National Restaurant Association show? Because of the people, leaders in the hospitality space, people that I respect, that I admire. I go there to ask them questions. Number two, it forces me to get outside of my restaurant. It actually helps us build a stronger restaurant team by leaving and going to Chicago. Number three, I always find new products, new technology, new services, new equipment, and connect with people who are in the industry that I respect and admire and I've been watching online. Join us at the 2025 National Restaurant Show and explore innovative solutions, strategies, and partnerships that will prepare you for whatever comes your way. Take it from me, the show has everything you need to elevate your front of the house and your back of the house. You'll see, touch, taste, and demo the latest trending products across over 900 categories, including food, beverage, global flavors, technology, equipment, and more. Whether you're looking for cost reduction strategies, new menu ideas, or unique guest experiences, the show can help you optimize and innovate your operation to reach your 2025 goals and beyond. Join your peers at the industry's most trusted event taking place in Chicago, May 17th through the 20th. Secure your badge for the show for food service today. Visit the official website, www.nationalrestaurantshow.com, and register with the promo code SHAWN25, that's SHAWN 25, to save $25 off the current registration rate for the 2025 show. And a reminder, that offer expires on May 9th, 2025. Get registered, and we will see you in Chicago. Let's talk about what you've learned about Instagram from the beginning to what you're doing now, because as we all know, the platforms change and you have to evolve as a storyteller. What's working now?
Yeah. Right now, I think consistency is going to always work, right? I think a lot of people
10,000 posts. You know that?
It's like 10.8, right?
Yeah, 10.8.
It's and that's just one profile.
That's one profile. You got
right?
4.
And so consistency works. You know what I mean? I think as far as Instagram is concerned, I think now leaning on video and reels is really if we're talking right now, that's like a big part of it. I see in the future live becoming a big thing. I think they're going to continuously try to force live down our throats. I don't know if it'll work, but I see them making that push. For anyone who's watching this that even wants to build something like this, I think a big thing that you have to focus on is diversification. You know what I mean? One of the main things that you said was you made a post on LinkedIn, right? Yeah. And I think utilizing LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, I don't like TikTok. I'll say I really want it to go away. Let me turn my phone off 1 second.
So the phone doesn't listen?
I really want, it's my birthday. I think people try to call and tell me happy birthday, but LinkedIn, YouTube is a big push for us. I think even for media companies, right?
Yep.
If we're talking from a business perspective, events is really where at least Suburban is going to make a huge pivot into. And so,
Yep.
really diversifying and understanding that your brand lives in more than just social media, right? It could live anywhere. X, I think, is going to have X has become one of my favorite platforms.
Really? What are you posting on X? Just words, images, video, combination
Yeah,
of both?
a lot of editorial stuff. So we have our newsletter that goes out. So we'll kind of refilter a lot of the news that's happening, hyper local news. Video does really well on X. And our strategy going into February, because we have 2 podcasts under our network, and we'll start posting long form podcasts strictly to X. That's going to be something that we're going to start doing. And I'll give you some reasons as to why, right? If you go to YouTube, when you exit off the app, the video comes with you. And if you have premium, you can lock your phone and still listen.
Yep.
If you pay attention, X has added that feature. Elon has talked a lot about wanting to make X's everything happen. So they're really looking to not only pay creators high yield, money. We don't make that much money off of X. We might make like $100 a month off of X, but $100 is $100
Yep.
for doing what we've been doing. So, but with X, it's like long form content for sure, editorial and long form.
What have you learned about brand partnerships, sponsorships?
It's everything, right? It's twofold. So when we're doing our podcast or anything that we have, whether it's editorial, the events that we throw, or even our podcast, having that sponsorship to help support you, what you're building, if you're talking about paid sponsorship, is beautiful. I mean, it's probably, I would say it's about 70, maybe 75% of our business, and the money that we make. So from that perspective, especially as an independent creator, that stuff is powerful. You can't quantify, maybe you can quantify, but you can't understand how big of an impact it has for your business. I think a secondary thing that you have to worry about as a creator, entrepreneur, hustler is a lot of the times the partnerships don't have to involve money. Sometimes it's just about a service that you may have, right? For my position, we have a large reach.
Yep.
And so it's like, how can I leverage that to, one, get money, of course, but two, maybe there's Noah's Foundation, for instance. We've got the reach. They've got the resources for the city. We're able to come together. We're going to put this in front of every celebrity and all the 80,000, 100,000 people that follow us. And in return, we'll funnel them to you, and then we'll be able to help the community together, which helps both. It helps the ecosystem, it helps our brand, it helps their brand.
Yep.
So I was just thinking about ways to, again, hack culture. That's what I call it. How can we hack culture and it's a game of inches. Just continuously inch our brand and keep it going. We don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So it's about pushing.
That's awesome. Tell me about YouTube. We've gone as a media company YouTube first in 2025. I think,
Yep.
If I'm honest with our audience, which I have been all the time, is, we haven't neglected YouTube, but YouTube is a different animal, and it's a very important animal in the ecosystem of where are we going from 2025 and beyond. Long form video, short form video, but like building out that video library for what, if we're honest, it's going to be, the number one TV station in the world is YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Number one TV station in the world is YouTube. Just ask.
That's a crazy bar.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that on a show, and like, I can't get it out of my head, but yeah, I mean, look what Netflix is doing now that they have NFL, they had the Jake Paul fight, Mike Tyson. Like, if you have the internet, you have the attention of a global economy. And if you're not building for that global economy, you're shooting yourself small. You're thinking too small.
No, for sure. And that's what I tell people. It's so much. I mean, I'm a numbers guy. Obviously, I like money. I like the rest of us. There's so much money and opportunity on the internet that if you're not taking advantage, man, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what you see, and maybe we're everyone's wired different, but there's just so much opportunity, and anything that you may want, notoriety, whatever it is that you want, it's on the internet. It's on the internet, and it's maybe 4 or 5 platforms: Instagram, YouTube. You just with those two. Put it this way: I have a whole team myself, and we are surviving off of mainly one Instagram channel. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
75% is coming from sponsorship through Instagram. And so it's like, I think about that if not from the opportunity is like, imagine once we build a strong YouTube.
Correct.
Right now we have 2,000 followers. We do decent and it's monetized great. But imagine if we build that up. Imagine if the events that we're planning on throwing go global.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking possibly billions of dollars, right? Yep. So anything's possible. To speak on the YouTube part for us, I'm really focused on premium content this year.
Yep.
Because I want to grow that sponsorship dollar. We have work that we do with Live Nation, a couple other big partners that we have. We have Mushy Girls, and right now we're funneling a lot of that through Instagram. But we'd love to take that to YouTube because it's just a much broader spectrum. So we have Scottie and Friends, which is my main podcast. We're introducing a live streaming show because I think live streaming is a big part of
for sure.
YouTube. We're going to do a show called The Check-In because in Los Angeles culture, when you come to LA, they say, yo, you got to check in. So we want to give the opportunity for people who come outside of LA to come in, check in, let us know how they feel about the city. We have a food show that we're developing called The Grub Good Show. What else are we popping on? We have some editorial stuff. I think we have one more show that we were talking about. I forget the idea behind it. But we have 5 pieces of IP that, I mean, we're going to drive premium content to. Not just podcasts, but actual, when I say The Grub Good Food Show, a real life food show. And I'm excited about it. We got our first one we're filming on the 24th. And the idea is literally to blow those up and run ads against them, at least for this year. But I realize I have aspirations of working with Cash App. You know what I mean? I would love to work with JP Morgan Chase. And so I realize these guys are only going to come if the content is valuable, safe, and premium. And so for me, that's like a big, big focus of ours outside of events.
I love that. Yeah, it's one of the things that we believe deeply in is speaking to the world what our goals are, even when people laugh. You know, you say JP Morgan Chase, and I'm sure, you know, you have friends, family, they're like, you're never going to get that. Like I had people that like, you know, I'm going to have Shaquille O'Neal on our restaurant influencer show. Like that's never going to happen. And, you know, I'm sitting down with Shaquille O'Neal and I still to this day, like I got paid to be there to do that. And I would have paid money out of my pocket for that opportunity.
Would have mortgaged the house for that. Like, no, I want to say like, I've seen that and I'm like, I've been watching you for a minute. Like one of the guys, even that I began to model so one of the pivots we made that made me a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
I pivoted because of your interview, which was with Bucket Listers. And I forget his yes, I seen that. And I've been building this thing and I was like, okay, I want to be like complex. And I was building. I was doing okay. But I realized, especially because our audience is mostly Black and brown folk.
Uh-huh.
And we were always entertainment. Obviously, and our goals, educate, entertain, and inform. And we've done the news piece of it. Man, the one tweak was, hey, because we're localized, and we want to localize in every city.
Yeah.
But because we're localized in LA, the key advantage that we have is things to do.
Yes.
And when I started to highlight events and experiences, it opened up this revenue stream of all these parties who were like, hey, can we be listed on your thing? Because people started to come and say, hey, what's popping?
Yeah.
And you changed my life by doing that.
That's why we do the work we do.
Yeah, but even seeing that and just I watched that video 40 times. I swear to God, I know what he's gonna say in the video. It's like a song to me. But seeing that, then seeing you do Shaq, man, I'm proud of you because I've been watching.
I appreciate that.
Big things.
I mean, that for me, I knew when we started, even though no one was listening to our show, that there were other people like me, hungry, eager, ready to build, ready to do whatever it takes, relentless, never going to quit. I mean, we talk about Kobe all the time. Like we know, we watched it, we idolized it, but we also know that like, that's the secret. The secret is not quitting. You know, how many podcasters start a podcast and they publish one episode and then they quit? 75%. And then another 90% quit once they get to 10 episodes. But like once you stack hundreds of episodes, thousands of episodes, tens of thousands of Instagram posts, now you have a business.
Yeah.
And you're a digital media storyteller. And from
Right.
that business, you build community. And
Hmm.
to the point of like, we only have 1,500 followers on YouTube, but we're
Hmm.
going all in on YouTube because I know 5 years from now, maybe it's 10,000, maybe it's 30,000, but I don't care. All
Yeah.
I need, especially for the work that we do, because we do more B2B than
Yeah.
B2C. So like we're
Hmm.
connecting with other business owners, but the work that we do, all we need is a niche audience.
Yeah.
All I need is the right person to see this interview to go, oh my God, Scottie, he was laying it down. Now he's inspired me to launch my
Hmm.
YouTube channel or to go all in on Instagram. Like I thought I was doing a lot of posts and I have, 5,000 posts on Instagram. Like 10,000's a lot of posts you have dedicated a lot. And that's not even stories, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
It's
just
not even
actual posts that
stories.
hit the feed.
It's crazy. I like that you say that because I think sometimes, when you're in the belly of the beast, like I see 10-8, I seen it the other day and like, I didn't even blink. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
like we rock it. But when you take yourself out of it, you're like,
That's
golly.
a
And we're posting
lot.
maybe 12, 13 times a day. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot of work. But like you said, and I think that's the thing. People are always like, yo, how do like should I get into it? And I'm like, listen, don't don't do this.
Yeah.
But if you're crazy enough to still do it after I tell you don't, I think the thing that you said is key. It's like, people, why don't you stop? It's like, because I mean, I'm hundreds of hours in. It would be crazy to stop. Like,
You're all in.
I mean, yeah, it's over with. Like, this is my life now. I
You're
can't.
But you've developed a skill set that, when we think of modern storytelling, the advantage that we have versus legacy media companies is that
Mhm.
we don't care. As much
Yeah,
as you've built on Instagram, you don't care. They can come out with a new platform. You know how to tell a story. You know how to
yeah,
use a meme. You know how to use words. You know how to use images. You know how to use audio. You know how to
yeah,
mix it up. Tell me what the platform is, and we'll go and we'll start publishing and we'll start building on that.
absolutely. And that's crazy that you're saying that. The word, and that's a key for me, probably I can already say is storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a thing that I never honed in on, meaning I never put my third eye on to say, no, this is what this is. This is
That's
storytelling.
your
And what's
storytelling.
that storytelling? You're
Yeah.
telling. Yeah, that's powerful, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
powerful.
what's the big goal for 2025?
Yeah, we want to do premium content. So we
By
have,
premium, you're talking subscription content?
I mean, just high quality,
Okay.
tasteful content.
Got
You
it.
know what I mean? Content that is value driven and content that not only the consumer, or the watcher, but brands want to get behind,
Yep.
and you look at Complex, or you look at a Valuetainment, even like a Barstool Sport, where this content is programmable and we can sit down and we can watch this every single day at such and such time.
Yep.
And so really honing in on that. And then the second piece of it is events, right? We really want to get into events. We really want to, we really want to steal that bucket listers format that they have,
Yep.
and kind of mix a little bit of complex in there. So we want to have these one-off events that we're throwing where we might license a major brand. And we want to throw our first one this year. We don't want to go heavy. And then we're also looking to throw a food festival this year. So the Grub Good Food Festival. And that's also what I mean. Like, so if we have the Grub Good Food Show and that's premium content, we can take that IP and turn it into different things. And to me, that's what makes it, not only is it programmable, but it can be taken off of different formats.
Can I give you some
And
advice for the festival?
talk to me. Don't.
Par- Partner with someone that has already built a following, that has already done it multiple years, so they have an annual festival, and create
Okay.
an activation within the festival.
Ah,
Then you have a much smaller space. You're partnering with them. You don't have all the risk. You don't have to build the infrastructure, get the permits, I did it for 10 years. We did an amateur barbecue contest, shut down the street in front of our restaurant. We did a professional barbecue contest at the Del Mar
fire.
Thoroughbred Club. Like, I realized that there's opportunity in owning the event, but
Mhm.
like, before you jump all in, get yourself a
Get your-
partner, somebody that's already doing a cool food festival that can't bring your audience, and then you partner with them.
Got it. Okay. And when you say that, is it like, I mean, because there's a food festival out here called, I forget the name of it. Oh, Homestyle Food Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And is it like you get a booth there, or you really
you create an activation, like
Got it.
like you create an activation for Suburban within that food festival. So like a
Mm,
VIP experience within that food festival that you own whatever it is.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you can still make your revenue. You can
You
still get
make
the
your revenue,
branding.
you figure out his partnership split, you figure out, sponsorship split. You guys bring sponsors, they bring sponsors, but like then you're not having to deal with the infrastructure.
Got it. Okay. I think that's what we'll do too. Cause I've been looking at it. I'm like, bro, it's a lot of heavy
It's a
lifting.
lot of work.
It's a lot of heavy
And it
lifting.
only
And that's
happens,
the
and then it
thing.
happens once, and you're like, "Oh my god, we did all that work, and the thing is over."
That's the thing with the media space is like you start to even realize, because even like I told you about the shift that we made it with events, it's like we said it on our meetings and we're like, okay, let's throw an event. And then I'm like, we're making so much revenue by just promoting the event that it's sometimes like, geez, we got to get on the ground
Yep.
and we're going to make maybe double what we're making. But it's like, I can just go sell this
Yep.
many more. And
That's
so it gets
correct.
tough. It
Yep.
gets tough.
For sure.
It gets really, really tough.
So anybody that's listening to this every Wednesday, every Friday on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, you can join the Rising Tide live show. So we do a live show that we get to connect with other creators, other business owners, sales professionals, marketing professionals. We've been doing that show for 4 years. Started on Clubhouse, audio only, moved to LinkedIn, and now we're streaming on Riverside. So if you guys want to join the show, if you're listening now, please join us, because that way we can hear who you are, what you're building, connect you to community. Scottie, I have some people I need to connect you with. One of them's Michael Diego. He co-founded Wise Assistant. So they do, it's an influencer platform. So they partner with restaurants to do local influencer campaigns, but I think you guys would have some really, really good synergies. There's also another guy, Lawrence Longo, who owns Irv's Burgers up in LA and Prince Street Pizza. I think he's putting on an event up there. I think he would be a good connection, so I'll make sure that I follow up with that. But what's the best way for people to get in touch with you guys, follow you guys? We'll put all the links in the show notes.
No, for sure. Suburban LA, SBRBN LA on Instagram is our main staple. You can follow me on Instagram, Scottie, SCCOTTIEE. It's a lot of doubles in there. Those are the best ways. I'm an IG guy for like, that's just like my main platform. So if you ever want to reach me, I respond to everything. I'm not hard to reach. Definitely YouTube, Scottie and Friends every single Friday. We're gonna skip this Friday, or I don't know when this will drop, but the fires are right now, so it's a little iffy. But Scottie and Friends every single Friday. That's the main podcast we're pushing. And man, you'll see me. I'm in the city all the time. I'm on the ground. I'm always on the ground. Before we even wrap it, I'd say I was in I used to come to the live streams, but the ones that were on Clubhouse, very, very profound. Very profound.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. That was awesome when you joined us. That was really cool.
Powerful, very powerful.
Yeah. Well, now that we're doing video, we hope that's a stepping stage for us to bring more people, connect more people. I mean, there's amazing people that are doing really cool shit in the storytelling and digital media space all over the globe, and I think we'll look back at this and what you build in 5 years, what you build in 10 years, like we're going to go back. Oh man, I'm happy we did that on your birthday when you were 29.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. This is huge.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you, Scottie. If you guys want to get in touch with me, I'm weirdly available at Sean P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. Check out our show, Restaurant Influencers. Check out Digital Hospitality, Rising Tides Live, and Suburban LA, one of my favorite accounts to follow. Huge fan of the work. Keep up the great work. And as always, if you need anything, man, just reach out.
Appreciate you, King.